Hello ladies and gentlemen, tokusatsu fans like I am Tank. Welcome to another edition of the Kaiju Hall of Fame, and today's kaiju is a kaiju type alien. We're talking about Zetton.
Zetton, height 60 meters, weight 30,000 metric tons. He hails from the planet Zet. His abilities are: Zetton can fight hand to hand. He can also use his beam attack, his final Zetton beam. He can shoot fireballs out of his head, and he can fly. And by the way, he also has a very strong barrier. There's several versions of Zetton in the Ultra series, so I'm going to hand this off to Protomet to tell you more about that.
The very first Zetton appeared in the final episode of Ultraman, utilized by the Zetton aliens as part of their plot to conquer Earth. This Zetton proved more than capable of defeating Ultraman before finally being destroyed by Triple SP, stopping the alien invasion in its tracks. After this display of power, this iteration of Zetton would make numerous subsequent appearances throughout the history of the Ultra series, including the final episode of Return of Ultraman in a similar role to its debut episode. Another version of Zetton, dubbed Powered Zetton, appeared in the final episode of Ultraman, the Ultimate Hero, which, much like the Return of Ultraman version, was very similar to its original appearance, only now controlled by the Powered Boltons, and the final stage of their plot to conquer the planet. A less villainous evolution, EX Zetton, was given the task of guarding the location of the Giga Battlenizer, and while ultimately defeated, it put up one hell of a fight. An alien bat attempted to create an even more powerful Zetton called Hyper Zetton, which succeeded in eliminating most life on a version of Earth that existed elsewhere in the multiverse. Though this version was seemingly destroyed by three Ultra Warriors working together, it only shed its shell and emerged even stronger, ultimately being felled by the three Ultras merging together to become Ultraman Saga. A variation of Hyper Zetton's imago form, Hyper Zetton Deathside, appeared on Earth and battled Ultraman Orb. But this wasn't the first time Orb had battled a Zetton, as he had previously battled Maga Zetton at some point in the past with disastrous results. It also wasn't the last, as a version of Zetton that was fused with King Pandon, dubbed Zapandon, was created to once again battle Orb. Speaking of, there was another fusion, this time with King Joe, which resulted in Padanium Zetton. At one point, another bad alien created an intelligent humanoid Zetton, simply named Zet, who could command a legion of Zetton variation, including one called Zetton Folks. In a bit of an odd turn, there are also a few iterations of Zetton that resemble human girls, and each iteration is considered strong when stacked up against other kaiju girls. There are also various other, less serious appearances of the kaiju. And finally, the most recent version of Zetton is the one that appears in the climax of the movie Shin Ultraman. But to avoid spoilers, we'll not say anything more.
So that was Zetton, you guys. I think he's a really interesting kaiju from the Ultra series, and I think he's literally probably one of my top kaijus next to Gomera. So, Zetton, you have anything to say? Alright, we're pretty much screwed. But before that, I would like Protomet to come on, and I want to thank him for helping me do this video, because he does know more about Ultraman than I do. Or mostly Zetton. So, say hi to the audience, Protomet.
No, I refuse to.
Alright, bye.